People who grew up with incredibly strict parents. What rule pushed you to finally rebel? For me, it was the camera. My parents controlled every second of my life. They had this massive whiteboard in the kitchen with my schedule broken down by the hour. Wake up at 5 a.m., study until 6 o'clock, breakfast for exactly 15 minutes, school prep 30 minutes, every single day. Weekends were worse. Free time meant 2 hours of approved reading, 1 hour of piano practice, 3 hours of extra math problems. No TV, no video games, no friends. Because according to them, every kid was a bad influence. I didn't get a phone until high school, and even then, it had parental controls, GPS tracking, and they'd read every single text. I couldn't even keep a journal. They'd find it, read it, and interrogate me about how I really felt. I had no privacy, no space to exist outside of their version of me. I got straight A's, not because I was a genius, but because anything less meant being grounded for weeks. They wanted me to become a doctor. I hated science. I loved art. I once told my dad I wanted to go to art school. He spent 3 hours lecturing me on how artists end up homeless. But the rule that broke me, the one that finally pushed me over the edge, was when they installed a camera in my bedroom the day after my 17th birthday. They told me it was for safety. I knew better. I came home from school and there it was, this little black dome in the corner of my ceiling, staring down at me like a prison warden. And something in me just snapped. All the years of suffocating rules, constant surveillance, no privacy, no autonomy, it all boiled over in that moment. I didn't plan it. I didn't even think. I just grabbed my backpack, dumped my dresser drawer into it, climbed out my window, and walked 8 miles to my friend Jenna's house, the one I wasn't allowed to see because she had blue hair and wore ripped jeans. When her mom opened the door and saw me crying on the porch, backpack in hand, she just pulled me inside and hugged me. I thought for sure my parents would call the police, but Jenna's mom sat me down and told me she'd been waiting for this. Turns out a few other parents had noticed how my parents treated me. They were concerned but couldn't act without proof. Jenna's mom helped me call my aunt, 3 states away, the one my parents had cut off because she was rebellious. She didn't even hesitate. Said she'd take me in, but we had to go the legal route so I wouldn't be labeled a runaway. The next day, we met with a social worker. I showed them pictures I'd secretly taken over the years, photos of the camera, the whiteboard schedule, the locks on the outside of my bedroom door, which they used when I got a B on a test. Jenna's mom let me stay while the legal side got sorted. My parents came to her house once, screaming, threatening, but when Jenna's mom mentioned the evidence and the social worker, they backed off. It took 4 months, 4 exhausting, terrifying months. But eventually, I was emancipated and moved in with my aunt. I finished high school there, got a scholarship to art school. My aunt came to my first gallery show and cried, said she was proud of me for breaking free. And here's the twist. I'm more disciplined now than ever, but I'm doing what I love, not what someone forced me to do. My first solo exhibition, it was called Surveillance. Every painting was some variation of cameras, melting clocks, rigid schedules, like a dystopian Salvador Dali. It was brutal, raw, and real. I invited my parents. They didn't come. My dad emailed me months later, said I'd never make it as an artist, told me to come home and apply to medical school before it's too late. I didn't reply. Sometimes I wonder if they ever realized. I didn't rebel for rebellion's sake. I rebelled to breathe, to exist, to finally live as me, not their project. Jenna still jokes that climbing out that window was my first creative decision. She might be right.